So one thing I want to say real quick, early on in this video about the marketing and about all that, about, the business side of things. I guess, what the channel really is about is just showing guys that you don't have to be this big corporate, you know, uh, marketing genius to make a living out here. I understand that everybody, if you're, 25 and you're like, man, I don't want to keep going to that warehouse job. I don't want to keep doing. I'm out here showing you that you don't have to know all these things about business in order to make a great living. Okay, put it that way. You don't have to be a marketing guru. You don't have to be super intelligent. You don't have to be book knowledge. You don't have to be any of those things. You just got to be a dedicated hard worker. And it's not all physical. And you just got to want to get out of the situation that you're in more than anything else, right? And when you got guys like Jay coming on and he's knocking my business model, well, when I started all this, I didn't have a format to become a great business. I just wanted to be out of the situation that I was in. I wanted to be better. And I knew that if I was in control of that I could make it better. I could make my life better. I could make everything better, right? And that's what the whole business is about. That's what the whole channel is about. The channel is not about, how to run a business. Because if I'm not educated in business. So the channel is about, look, you don't have to work for the man if you don't want to. You don't have to abide by the standards of other people that are trying to start a business. You don't have to deal with employees. You don't have to deal with any of the mumbo jumbo that you hear Jay talking about. You don't have to know all that. I know all that. I know all that. And if I don't know it, it's real easy to figure all that out. If somebody asks me what it costs for me to acquire a customer, okay, whatever I say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Because at the end of the day, I'm out here doing everything that I can do to make money. Knowing how much it costs for me to get a customer, is that going to change how I do anything? I don't think it would. The bottom line is, we're talking about just knowing enough to make a living, provide for your family, not rob nobody, and pay all your bills. Anything more than that, you can learn as you're going. At the end of the day, my main thing about this business, the business that I've created, is make more than I spend. that's the, and keep my overhead down. When you're trying to do things like some people do things, and not saying they're right or wrong, but you're forced to spend money blindly, and you don't know if you're going to get a return or not. I don't do that. Not that I'm saying I'm right or wrong, but I never claimed to be a business guru either. I'm a doing guru. That's what I am. I do. I show. And the whole channel, the whole time I've been doing the YouTube channel, in case nobody didn't know, the mission of the channel, if you will, has been to show that you don't have to work for the man, and you don't have to be a Brian's Lawn Maintenance either. You don't have to know all these numbers to get things going and to get things off of it. What you got to know is earn more than you spend. That's what you got to know. Everything else after that in this business, it'll fall into place. These folks that come on here talking about all this blah, 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 it doesn't matter. None of that really matters when you're starting out. Somebody that just lost their job for the man, or just quit their job for the man, or just sick and tired of working for the man, and they need money now. They don't need to go to school for a year to learn business to do this. Is what my channel is all about. You don't have to, you don't have to know a lot. Obviously, Redneck Ray, he's doing it. I'm doing it. I mean, I don't care what any of my haters say. I'm living the dream. Is it stressful sometimes? Sure. Is it not always pretty? Yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's better than going and punching a clock for the man, making him a millionaire. Well, Ray, you're never going to be a millionaire. That's fine. I'm good with that. I don't have to be. And you don't either, to make a damn good living and to be in control of your life, to be able to have time to spend with your family, your kids, and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to be all that. You can be, nothing wrong with that. But if you're coming in the door and you see all these guys on YouTube with all their marketing stuff and all their mumbo jumbo talk, marketing talk and business talk, okay. At the end of the day, you got to make more than you spend. Business 101, make more than you spend, period. And then use that money to make more money. However you see fit. I just happen not to have ever had to pay for marketing. I want to clarify one thing too, that's kind of, I feel like it's kind of getting mixed up in some of the comments and stuff, is, Ray, what do you know about marketing? You've never marketed. I have marketed, okay? I just have never paid for it. That's all. In today's day and age with TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Nextdoor, and all the other ones that I don't know nothing about, to pay for marketing just sounds to me like, man, I don't pay for it. And that's where me and Jay have a difference of opinion. And not that he's, a good guy or a bad guy. That's all irrelevant. I'm talking about his strategy. You don't have to know all that stuff to make a damn good living. And you don't have to, so don't get overwhelmed with all these numbers and all this talk about that. Just know this. Make more than you spend. That's the basic concept of, well, any business really, I think. But what am I? I don't have a business degree. I don't have a marketing degree or nothing. I've never paid for marketing, and maybe I should have clarified that, the last week or so. I've never paid for it. So